welcome to yet another exciting episode of When You Meet a Leader. I'm your host, Vasudha Sharma. I'm a best selling author, speaker, health and wellness expert, founder of nonprofit Voice of Planet. Today, I have with me Gloria Carpenter as our special guest. Gloria is an actor, professional singer. She's a best selling author and a dream builder life coach. I'm very excited to interview her on this show. Welcome, Gloria.
Hi, Vasudha. How are you? So excited to be here.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We are so eagerly looking forward to ask you a few questions and chat with you.
Sure.
I hope you had a wonderful new year. Just recently. How's it going?
Yes, well, as a singer, it's been really difficult as far as working. As you know, COVID took a big hit on the entertainment industry. So in May, everything started coming back and I was able to sing again. But now there's a surge again. So I had one last gig on New Year's Day and we were wearing masks. And as a singer, you can't wear a mask. So it's kind of like, do I do this job or not? It's one of those decisions. But I'm just really happy to be doing what I love. And that's why I wrote a book about it.
Absolutely. Well, and congratulations for being the best-selling author.
Thank
It's
you.
it's a big achievement. So I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to reading the book as well. I just wanted to talk a little bit about you, a bit more information, which I know that, I have heard that you have always been driven to live a life, you love to encourage others and help them support and live the life of their dreams. It's
Yes.
a passion of yours.
Yes.
And one of the important mission you have always shared is that you want to see people happy and fulfilled,
Yes.
doing what they love by utilizing their innate talents. Now,
Absolutely.
you all, yes, and also you have mentioned that coming from a childhood of neglect and abandonment, you have that experience, all too well, how inner wounds can cause people to get stuck in their tracks
Yes.
and, by their disempowering thoughts and actions. So, one of the main point I think in your new book, Power Up Your Dreams, you have shared that what it takes to stay true to your own unique path with uplifting words of wisdom and guidance to help you achieve your deepest desire. So I am very, very excited to share more and learn more about this powerful book you have written, and also how you plan to coach and help people come from disempowerment to live the life of their dreams. So thank you again for sharing more information with us and letting me spread the word. Thank
Oh
you.
my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have this platform on your radio station to do this. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. I wrote a teaching memoir and I took bits and pieces of my life and shared the lessons that I learned along the way. So I always knew from a very young age that I wanted to sing and dance. And I always was very passionate about my dreams. And the problem was I had no sense of self. I had no sense of self-awareness. When I was 2 years old, I was put in a daycare center. My parents divorced at 5. I felt like I wasn't worthy of or deserving of love. I wasn't good enough. I went through my first 4 decades of life feeling that I was not good enough. And I didn't realize it. because I was feeding myself false truths about myself. I didn't know that the subconscious believes everything you tell it. And I was telling it lies. I was lying to myself and I didn't know it. And in the process, I was self-sabotaging. I was making the wrong decisions. And if I had known now, then what I know now, it would have been a lot smoother ride to get to where I am now. So I had successes in my career and I love what I do. And that alone is a success. So if you're living a life you love, you're a success. So what I do in this book, Vasudha, is I incorporate aspects of the mind. Changing your thoughts will change your life, as Wayne Dyer has said. Taking care of your body, because confidence is not just your thoughts. You have to look the part too, and you have to act the part. As a leader, this show is about leadership. You have to be the leader of yourself. And that means being confident, knowing who you are, what you have to offer to the world. And each of us is like a little snowflake. We're all unique. We have our own gifts. And I think we have those gifts to use not only for ourselves, but to contribute to the world. So a lot of people just go through life, they get a job and they're like, okay, I'm happy, I'm stable, I have a paycheck. But are you really making a good living by doing that if you're denying what you're really here to do? So in my book, I ask a lot of questions. I ask people to figure it out. Basically, what do you really love doing? What is it that you want to be doing in this lifetime? What makes you feel alive? Why are you here? And what do you have to offer? It's am I going over? Can I keep going?
No, I think that's amazing. To have that kind of vision, to give, that portray the intricacy of emotions we experience sometimes, and how do you come out from dismissing yourself. So I think that's a very powerful message, and I'm just so carried away by listening to you. So yeah, please carry on.
Okay, so the point is that this is my wish for all of you who are listening right now, is that you live your happiest, most fulfilling, most peaceful, most joyful, most purposeful life that you can. And the only way for you to do that is to get out of your own way. And to do that, you have to dig deep. For me, I was abandoned as a child. So I carried all these false beliefs with me. I had gone to therapy. I became a self-help junkie, reading all kinds of books. In my 30s, I got into listening to New Age teachers like Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle, everything that talks about the spiritual world inside of us. Once I started tapping inward, that's when things started moving. And I think out of the mind, body, spirit connection, I think the spirit part of it is the biggest part. Because in order to go onward and upward in your life, you have to go inward. And how I did that was I started meditating. And that was huge, because when you meditate and sit in silence, and I'm not a sitter, I'm a doer. So for me to sit in a chair is a big thing. And it took me almost 50 years to be able to sit in a chair and get something out of it, because I realized what we see in the mirror is not who we are. We're formless, we're limitless, we're powerful, and we're more powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's really outstanding to, for you to put more power on the inward vision, because we live in a world of distractions. There is constant, we to sit and meditate and to have that, understanding of how important it is to connect to your dreams. It's very powerful. So tell us a little bit about your background, why you wrote this book. You gave me a little bit, but what was a nudge? Just that one particular nudge.
I think the turning point for me was in my late 40s when I had broken up with I was in a long-term relationship, and it was a roller coaster ride, and it was really tough to let that go. And I was having a hard time. It was a very dark period of my life. So I went to therapy and I realized that I had issues. I had abandonment issues and I didn't know it. And I tended to choose the wrong kind of relationships that were not serving me. And then I started journaling. And that's when I started growing, because when you're in pain and you're at the bottom and you need to get out of it, you start looking at different avenues to take you back up. So that's what pulled me up. And even during the pandemic, when I lost all my jobs, everything got postponed or canceled, I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? And that thing that I did is I listened to Hay House podcasts, all different kinds of teachers. I was growing. I was absorbing everything like a sponge. And that's when it hit me, okay, I'm going to do something for my soul while I'm sitting here. Instead of scrolling through my Facebook messages, I'm going to start to write and see what comes out of me. And thus the book, a year later. So I never had a desire to write a book. It just happened. And I'm excited.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Beautiful cover too.
Thank you.
Who did you write this book for? Like, is it dedicated to someone?
I dedicate this to all the people who deal with broken backgrounds, anyone with self-doubt, fears, worries about their future, people who don't know who they are, and they're stuck in their mediocre lives and they want something more. People who want to grow, people who want to learn, who just want to become more of themselves.
And yeah, I think that's important too. There might be different paths, but leading to the same destination. We all want to do well in our lives. So, I'm pretty sure it's gonna make an impact for people, especially who had that abandonment issues, or, the kind of issues you have described, and how you were able to bridge yourself, and come out stronger. So what is the main message of your book, and what can people learn from it?
People, through the process of going through my book and actually doing the exercises, I have exercises at the end of each chapter. Through the process of this book, my wish and my hope for you is that you learn about yourself. You learn that you matter, your life matters. You have the ability to impact others by just being you. And that's another big concept of this book, is to just do you and don't compare yourself to others, because we're all unique. And what people will learn: self-love, self-worth, self-respect, self-awareness. This is about loving yourself and loving others and loving your life.
That's so beautiful. Thanks for sharing that message.
Thank you.
So, who were your main influence when you were writing the book?
I drew upon, as I mentioned previously, I drew upon the New Age thinkers, the new thought leaders, Jack Canfield, who says, take 100% responsibility for your life. Nobody else is going to live your life. You have to do it. Eckhart Tolle, about your spiritual side of yourself, just tapping into that. I know there's so many. Mary Morrissey, who is one of the teachers that I learned the Dream Builder life coaching from. Also, noticing what you're noticing in your life, and knowing that you are an energetic vibrational being with a spiritual form. I believe with all my heart that we are spiritual beings having a human experience and not the other way around. And a lot of people, they just disregard it and they live their lives by their circumstances, by their situation. But we're so much more powerful than that. We can tap into that. And that's why I say power up your dreams. Power up. Tap into yourself. Tap
Yes.
inward.
Yes, absolutely. You need to have that dialogue, inner dialogue.
Yes.
And without that, everything else is noise, and you have to cancel out the noise. And I totally agree on that message. For anybody who have joined us late, I'm with wonderful Gloria Carpenter, who is the best-selling author, professional singer, and she's much more. She's also a coach, and we have shared. She's a motivational speaker. She has a powerful message in her book, Power Up Your Dreams. And we want to thank Rainier Avenue Radio World for, helping us broadcast this interview with everybody. And, we are currently on When You Meet a Leader, one of the most wonderful episodes. Every episode we try to bring some movers and shakers who know what it takes to tick. So we are gonna move along with our interview with Gloria. So now speaking of the different messages you have shared about in your book, from your personal journey and from your experience and from your vision, do you have a favorite quote or quotes that you would like to share with our listeners?
Oh my gosh, Vasudha, I have tons of quotes in my book. It's a toss-up. I think one of the quotes I use a lot because I have a lot of friends that work day jobs and a lot of friends that are artists and musicians. And I talk to the people that have day jobs. And one of the quotes I use is from Dolly Parton. And she says, "Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." And I think that's a great one. Another one, I have to look down. I have to look at my book. Yes. This is from Joel Osteen, Pastor Joel Osteen. "You will never rise any higher than the way you see yourself. You have a chance to change your story. Be clear about what you want, not what you settle for." So yes, do not settle, folks. It's not to your advantage. So yeah, I think every page of mine has an inspirational quote on it because I just love how much they touched me. So I wanted to share it with other people.
I think they're all very wonderful, and you yourself are a fabulous writer. I'm sure I'm going to pick my own quotes as well as I go through the book. But thanks for sharing that. So how's the experience so far? I know it was released not too long ago. Just tell me how you're enjoying the post release of your book.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's just another aspect of my life that I get to love. So I did launch the Kindle version a few weeks ago and became a bestseller. And I thank all the people that were involved with that. I thank you, Vasudha, for your help in my journey. You were helping me with the promotional aspect of how to go to the bookstores and things like that. And I haven't really started doing any main promotions. Actually, you're my very first interview, and I'm so excited. So thank you for that. So yeah, I'm loving the process. I'm just so happy to have a book that can help others and have an impact on others. And the ones that did order it and did read it are sending me so many wonderful comments about how it's affecting them. That's exactly why I wrote it. So yeah, it's all good.
Oh, wonderful. So where can everyone find your book?
I have it available on my website, powerupyourdreams.com, where you can get a signed copy. I also have free guided audio meditations on there for you to pick up if you stop by my website. And you can also, if you want faster shipping, you can get it on Amazon. I have both the ebook and the paperback up. And I'm in the process of recording an audiobook, so that's halfway done, and I should have that out soon too. Yes.
I think the audio version is very much in demand nowadays. A lot of people want to just hear the book while they are on a busy commute.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, I know that I personally have tried to skim through some books that way. But, and then as I find time, I read them as well. But I think, yeah, that would be wonderful to have the audio version. And congratulations for the bestseller on Kindle. And I
Thank you.
really wish you all the success. I want to just, since you have said you're a professional singer, do you want to, an impromptu song? Do you have
Oh,
in your
indeed.
mind?
Oh, wow.
I want to hear you sing. I
Oh,
just
my
want to
goodness.
see, if I can request that. I don't know if
Oh,
you agree to
oh
it.
my goodness. Wow. Okay. Well, I sing so many different styles. That's the thing. I'm in a country band. I sing songs from the 1940s. I do R&B. What do you have a favorite style?
I'm just willing to go with the flow, whatever you have on your mind.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I know it's very impromptu, but
Really?
don't feel the pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. And I never thought I'd feel this way. You know what? I started that out too high. Okay. This is real time. This is real time. Okay.
It was beautiful, though. I liked it.
Thank you so much. No, I do this for a living, for real.
You don't have to tell me. I love it. I loved your line.
Oh, okay. Christine has been asking me to do a song called "Just Right, Just Right, Just Right," and I'm working on that. But I don't know. You kind of put me on the spot here, but
I am sorry if
no,
it's too much pressure, no big deal. We can move on.
For the next interview, I'll know to have something prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem at all. Sometimes we do like to surprise. I know it might not be the best, but but it's always nice to have that kind of reaction to see what's going to happen.
It's spontaneous.
Exactly, the spontaneity. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing about your book and your journey. And I think it's very powerful. Your message is very powerful. I know that you also are a fabulous coach, trying to help people with this particular area where they give up on their dream, or they dismiss their dreams. So it's definitely, I would say, in modern world we live in, when everything seems to be larger than life, and we feel like such a tiny droplet in that ocean, that it's very important to connect to your inner self. So that's the message. And of course, with your own exercises you have mentioned after the book, those kind of exercises, I'm pretty sure it'll be very impactful when any reader is going through it step by step.
Yes.
So
I think it's very important for people to not just read it, but to do it, to take action on the exercises, because otherwise it's just not going to work. You have to do the
Absolutely,
work.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So what's next for you? Are you still busy promoting your book, or have you already decided what you're gonna go on the next step?
Well,
Right.
I so far I have one other podcast lined up this week with Tiffany Patlin, and I have a radio interview coming up the end of January. It's called Rock on Radio, and that is geared towards independent musicians. So musicians, oh my goodness, they're so creative. They're so creative, but I just want to get them further into themselves instead of the crazy business that can eat them up alive. And as far as promotions, I just started, like I said. So press release, bookstores, the whole gamut. You know, you've been here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a very engaging journey, but so rewarding because the process, itself teaches you a lot when you are trying to achieve a goal in your life. And for you at this point is to get your book to your readers, and be writing a book is a big achievement in itself. And definitely trying to coach people to not to give up on their dreams. I think you have a great road lined up for you, and we all wish you a lot of success. Thank you for coming to our show. And, I want to thank Rainier Avenue Radio World for broadcasting this episode of When You Meet a Leader. We are going to be coming back with more exciting interviews, and we will be sharing very, very important aspects, how people motivate themselves and others for to grow and to become a powerful leader. So thank you, Gloria. You were fabulous.
Thank you so
Good
much.
luck for your book.
Thank you so much. And one last note to your listeners, believe in yourself and never give up on your dreams. You deserve it.
Well, that's very powerful. Thank you for sharing that, and good night.